screen specialist showcase has begun.
This was terrible. That just sounds like a dumb movie. I'm sure there's plenty of podcasts. It's so funny.
The following is a fan-off production.
They call me Alice in Wonderland. They try to lure me with a man. Go, oh, what do you know? Is that a rabbit hole? Oh, I gotta see where we go. So off with my head, fell in love again. You lose your head, you lose your heart, fall apart.
What's up, all you stars and studs? I am former WWE diva and current First Lady of Ring of Honor, Maria Kanellis, and I am here with my co-host, and we are back, Michael Bennett.
The indie darling.
And I'm pissed.
I am the indie darling. I am all that is independent pro wrestling. I am kick pads and baggy pants, and I am strong.
And crappy body and
strong fucking style, motherfucker.
Wow, what a week it's been since this announcement. I mean, okay, first tell our fans. Oh, wait, we don't have any fans. Tell the people listening what's going on right now at Ring of Honor.
Well, right now, Ring of Honor is doing 2 combined shows with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and they're doing one in Toronto called Global Wars, and then we're doing one in New York City the weekend after called War of the Worlds. And it's cross-promotion, and it's pretty much the Global Wars is New Japan Stars versus New Japan Stars, and then War of the Worlds is New Japan Stars versus Ring of Honor Stars. And it was announced that I am wrestling who many claim to be the greatest wrestler in the world as of right now, Tanahashi, and the internet collectively shit their pants after that was announced. Because apparently Tanahashi is out of my league. It's like that movie, She's Out of Your League, or She's Just Not That Into You. I guess Tanahashi's just not that into me, because apparently I should be wrestling the likes of people who've been wrestling for 2 years, even though this year will mark my 14th year in professional wrestling, but the 20-year-old nerds that sit on their computer know more about wrestling than I do. But, I've been wrestling for 14 years, and I can still walk, and but apparently you have to wrestle. Apparently no one knows who we are, sweetie. Apparently our collective
lower card. That's what we're doing. We're doing
lower
a lower card match.
Yeah.
This guy, has he ever been right? I swear. Is he ever been right? Who's this guy? What's this guy's name? It's posted by Jason Patrick.
Yeah, but he's not. That's not who
wrote it.
That's wrong.
Who wrote it?
It's not an article. It's just news stories. It's just news stories collected from the Wrestling Observer.
Oh.
So
it's a news story about a news story?
Not,
lame.
He's not the one you should attack at all.
Well, I don't need to attack anybody, because honestly, it's horse manure, this entire thing. I mean, it's ridiculous that anyone would think that if someone is going to spend as much money as you spend to send wrestlers from Japan over into Canada for this match, if it's going to be a match that's just going to kind of happen. It's of no importance. No one spends that kind of money. If you're looking at it strictly from the business side and how you can consider yourself an expert on this, and you're going to send your biggest star over here and spend all that money to bring him over here for a lower card match? Are you kidding me? Now, let's also go into the fact that we started this podcast, and we have so many freaking downloads that we're outdoing some of the other podcasts that have apparently more notable stars that they should be wrestling Tanahashi that are a part of Ring of Honor. We're beating them out on downloads. And I'm not going to name names because I like these people. But there are other people in Ring of Honor that have podcasts as well. We're beating out their numbers with our podcast. Why is that? Because we're bigger stars. Who are we bigger stars with? The people that are watching it on television. Who pays our checks? Television pays our checks. Not the internet people. No. It's our buys at different television stations. So I don't care if the internet's all in a freaking uproar about this. They are wrong. They have no idea who is the biggest star. They think that the 12 people that go on the stupid Ring of Honor world that talk all the time are the ones that are right, and they're not right. Those are 12 people. There are millions. Like, what? And you're going to write this article, and then you're going to call Mike Bennett a lower card guy. He's been wrestling for a very long time. People know him around the freaking world. Like, do you pay attention, people? Pay attention. If you're going to write an article, at least research. Okay, that's it.
Wow.
That's it.
That was impressive.
It's going to put pressure on him to have a 25-minute thrilling match. What? Where did they get this information? That's what I want to know.
Well, I find it funny because if people actually knew wrestling and you're a decent worker, then it shouldn't put pressure on you or pressure on your body to have a 25 thrilling match. It didn't put pressure on The Rock and Hogan to have a 25-minute thrilling match. I wonder how many bumps they took. But again, these people don't know what they're talking about, just like the idiot people that tweet me and try to tell me they know more about wrestling, and they just don't know what they're talking about. It's funny, but that's all right.
It's so ridiculous. Ridiculous. This
dude is tweeting me right now, Memphis Tompkins. He's hot, man. He's hot at whatever you said. Oh. He's mad. He told me I should subscribe. If you made enough money to subscribe to The Observer, you'd know what Dave actually said. Don't knock what you don't know. Mike Bennett, but do keep up the indie act, dude. Biting the hand that feeds you is always the way to go. What? Explain this to me, Mr. Memphis Tompkins, who has an egg for a picture because then you always know they're legit. Explain to me how I'm biting the hand that feeds me. Huh? Explain to me how 14 years in independent wrestling, I'm biting the hand that feeds me. Explain that to me because I'm sure you're some 22-year-old little shit that sits at home behind his mom's computer and doesn't know anything about wrestling. But you read stuff like the Wrestling Observer and you sit there and then you read these internet dirt sheets and you go, oh, well, I know wrestling now because I get these terms because I subscribe to Idiot's Guide to Professional Wrestling. I'm sure you get it, sir. I'm sure you understand. Explain to me how I'm biting it. Explain it to me. And you know what? The Indie Act, I don't do anything that's independent wrestling. So maybe if you followed what I do, you would get it. But again, I digress because this little shit doesn't know what he's talking about.
You know, it's so funny to me because 95% of the people that make comments to me are huge supporters of me and of you. It's the other 5%. And I would love to know where they write these.
You know what it
remarks.
is? I talked about it on the on Greg DeMarco's show last night. It's the vocal minority. And unfortunately, they are the loudest, but they don't represent what's actually people's opinions. They just because.
But it's so cool to hate you.
No,
so
but
cool.
it's because they're the minority. They have to be the loudest. And I've had this conversation with you before. I actually have gotten more positive tweets and more positive responses from people about this match than I do negative. It's just the people who do negative are obsessed with it, and they keep going and going, and then they go, I don't care about this match. I don't care about this match. Let me tweet about it 20 different more times. I don't care about this match. I don't care about this match. Hey, let me talk about it 32 different more times. Oh, I don't care about this match. This match is stupid. But yet it seems to be the only match that anyone's talking about right now. So I'm curious why they don't. It makes no sense. You don't care about it, but you can't stop talking about it. Explain that to me. Because usually things I don't care about, I don't talk about.
You forget about. Nobody's forgotten about it. That's
and I don't talk about it.
Everybody continues to talk about it, and everybody continues to say more about it. And now they think they have inside information about Tanahashi being injured, and they think they've got inside information about why New Japan is doing this. And blah. What? Are you kidding me? If you're going to send over your biggest star, do you not want to put him against the biggest star in Ring of Honor?
I'm not the biggest star.
Are you kidding me?
I'm lower to mid card.
You are one of the only people in that company that actually gets a real response. I could cheer and yay every single time someone jumps out of an airplane and they parachute down. I'm going to do it every single time because they're jumping out of an airplane. Does that mean I care about the parachuter? No. It's cool to see a parachute open. Just like it's cool to see someone dive out of the ring and do some kind of 360 with a double twist. I mean, come on. Why do people watch any kind of Olympics gymnastics? Do they care about them? No, they don't care about them until they cry because they broke their fucking ankle. They don't care about them until they break down because they had a really hard fall and they're going to do it again. They don't care until you hear their background, until they make you feel something. And that's why you're the biggest star. And that's why people are going to pay money to see if you're going to get your ass kicked. But I bet you won't. But that's just, I probably could talk about this for the entire time we do the podcast.
Yeah?
I think that could happen. Yeah.
Go ahead. Keep
talking. It astounds me what people say. They're insulting and they're cruel. And they think that you're going to come back at them.
They take it personally. That's what happens. And unfortunately, they're so used to people conforming and doing it their way that when someone actually stands up and has balls and continues to wrestle the way he wants to wrestle, they cower and their little penises get sucked into their bellies and they don't know what to do about it because they're so used to this is what you have to do to be a good professional wrestler. Really? Because I've seen a lot of really good professional wrestlers John Cena and Triple H and CM Punk and Claudio. And it seems to me that they're not doing these stupid shits to themselves. But, you have to conform or they don't like you. And I don't conform. And quite frankly, I don't care if they don't like me because, like I said, the vocal minority is not the group that I want to go after. It's the silent majority who I like. And the silent majority are the ones who, believe it or not, pay the bills. Believe it or not, the vocal minority are the ones that, download the shows illegally and don't even get the shows. Or if they do, they burn the DVDs from their other friends. And I don't care about them because at the end of the day, I want to make money in professional wrestling. And the silent majority is the ones who are going to pay me. Can you imagine if The Rock was in Ring of Honor? Holy shit. He would have been told he has no charisma. He would have been told he's boring.
How many moves does he have? I think he has 3 moves.
Are you kidding me? All he does the rock bottom and the spine buster and the people's elbow. They'd be shitting their pants right now.
He has an eyebrow. He does have an eyebrow.
My goodness.
I bet you that the eyebrow would get more chants and cheers than any other move done on an entire Ring of Honor show. Still, to this day, if Rock came to our show, walked down the aisleway, got in the ring, raised his eyebrow, that would be the loudest the crowd would get. Why is that? Because you care about him, just like everybody cares about this match. No matter how many times you want to lie and tell me you don't, you do care about this match. You want to see this match. And you want to see it so you can hate Michael Bennett even more. But you know what? It's not going to be the way that you think it's going to be. It's not going to end that way. It just isn't. And it's not going to be the match that you always were dying to see with Tanahashi in it. But you know what? That's why you're going to watch it. I think that sometimes the marks need to stay just marks. They need to just stay marks.
I think they need to. It's like I tweeted the other day. The minute you start taking wrestling too seriously is the minute you forget what professional wrestling is about. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, but I got into professional wrestling because it was fun. And the minute you start getting personally upset about the way a show was booked, you've lost your fucking mind. I've never sat and watched The Walking Dead and been like, are you fucking kidding me, writers? This is how I would have done it. This is how it should have been done. This show's stupid. I'm never going to watch it again. Such and such show is way better. No. If I don't like something, I go, all right, I didn't like that, but next show, hopefully I'll like it. I don't get personally offended. Who gets personally offended at entertainment? It's absolutely ridiculous. It's kind of pathetic.
Ridiculous.
And then not only that, but wrestling seems to be the only form of entertainment where they start bringing your personal life into it. I don't sit there and watch The Walking Dead and be like, well, Rick, because he's cheating on his wife at home, or, Rick acted this way, or, hold on, I'll drop his real name, whatever it is. He must have pissed the writers off because that's why they had him break his leg on the show. Like, what are you talking about? Wrestling is the only form of entertainment where people do this. Are you kidding me? Like,
yeah. You never.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Movie.
Like, you don't ever watch a show and go, well, they killed him off, so he must have been sleeping with the writer's wife, or he lost his push, brother. What? Are you kidding me? This is the only form of entertainment that people are stupid enough to take it way too seriously. Lighten up. Wrestling's supposed to be fun. When did we lose that? And that's like the people that write this stuff are not the ultimate fans. The ultimate fans are the ones who embrace wrestling, like what they like, hate what they hate, but take it for what it's worth. A fucking form of entertainment. That's what we do. We entertain. Stop with this life or death shit. And this is my livelihood. And if I'm not taking it that seriously, then why the fuck should you? Like, this is my life. This is how I make a living. If I don't wrestle, the electricity gets turned off. I don't pay the bills. Like, I don't understand why, if someone who's making a living off of this, don't take it that seriously, why the fuck are you a fan? I don't know. I don't get it. Like, why I get tweets that say the closest thing that Michael Bennett will ever get to CM Punk's level is because he's with Maria. How freaking long ago was that? Jiminy Christmas! Well, they're not very clever, and this is the only way they can respond is they have to recycle joke after joke. I mean, honestly, if I got $1 for every time I heard that joke, I'd be a very, very, very rich man right now, and I probably wouldn't have to wrestle anymore if I just heard that joke. So keep tweeting me that joke and hopefully send $1 with it, because I would be very rich.
You would be. It's ridiculous.
I don't get it, because wrestling is like, it's a form of entertainment. It's just like music. It's just like a play. It's just like a movie. It's just like a TV show. Like, how many times have we sat there and watched? No, but how many times have we sat there and watched Justified, and I've looked over at you and said, "Oh, I didn't like where they went with that," or "I liked where they went with that." Have I ever looked at you and like, it's ruined my night? Like, literally ruined my night because someone was killed off or because they went this way. Like, not even to the extreme of someone being killed off. Let's just say they went a certain way with a storyline. Or they got an actor from they hired Eric Roberts to be on Justified. And I looked at you and I was like, really? Eric Roberts? What the fuck has he done? He's only a character actor. Character actor for life. He's only a character actor for the rest of his life. You know what? You motherfuckers would kill to be a character actor for the rest of your life. But seriously, again, it's the only form of entertainment where this happens. I don't get it. It boggles my mind. It ruins this thing that I love. They ruin it for it. And I can guarantee you there's not a wrestler alive that doesn't think that. Even your indie darlings that you sit there and you love, I guarantee you they truly believe you're ruining this livelihood that we fucking love because you take it so seriously. God, like, what it wouldn't be to be a wrestler in the 70s and in fucking 80s, man. That was the life. Now they bitch about it and complain, and then anyone can just jump in a wrestling ring and, oh my God.
Well, I mean, the fact that you've been wrestling for this long apparently means nothing. You haven't earned your spot at all by being a wrestler for this long, building up your name, being safe. We
were just talking about it today where I told you, I said, in 2 years, I will be 30 years old. Mm-hmm. And at that point, for 30 years of my life, 15 of those years I have been wrestling. Mm-hmm. That will be half my life. I have been somewhat or somehow associated in the wrestling business. Yet I don't know what I'm talking about. Yet I haven't deserved a match against the greatest wrestler in the world right now. Yet I have no clue what's going on. But all these people who just because they've watched wrestling for 15 years get it. But because I haven't, bled, I haven't sweat, I haven't traveled the road, I haven't talked to these veterans who've done a million times more than me do, or traveled in cars with these guys, or wrestled these guys and learned from them for 15 fucking years. Half my life. But I don't know what I'm talking about. You're right. You're right. In what world does that not make you an expert on a topic? If I went to school to be a doctor for 15 fucking years, or if I was a practicing doctor for 15 years, you'd probably say you're an expert at being a doctor. Or if I was a writer for 15 years, you would probably say you're an expert at being a writer. But no, this is the only form in the entire world where logic, common sense, you can just cram it all up your asshole.
Do you want to take any callers?
We can take as many as you want.
All right, we will take callers. So call in if you want to. But we do own this podcast, so we can hang up. And the phone number is 909-581-4... where'd my thing go? 4727. So 909-581-4727. You're welcome to call in, but if I don't like what you say, I may or may not hang up on you.
Oh, don't hang up. I will talk circles around anyone that wants to talk wrestling right now. Circles.
Okay. You can talk. I will let you talk. Yes. All right. First caller is on the line. What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Maxwell Baumbach. I'm from RBR Weekly Wrestling Talk.
Hello there.
So I just wanted to call in and give some insight on this issue that you guys have been talking about pretty extensively. I do commentary for independent shows, which I mentioned before, and I personally think Mike Bennett is one of the best possible matchups for Tanahashi.
Well, thank you.
And the reason for that is I think that if people who actually watch Tanahashi's matches, they'll kind of understand that he's not your prototypical guy who's going to do a bunch of head drops and no-sells and 87 kicks to the chest kind of worker that people seem to think.
Oh, don't you dare say that Michael Bennett wrestles just like Tanahashi. I mean, oh my God, really?
I'm not going to go there, but if you watch Tanahashi, Tanahashi's the reason that he is the star he is in Japan is because he's a phenomenal worker. And he can get the crowd to react the way that he wants them to react. Now, if you look at the Ring of Honor roster, who would you say are like the top people that do that? Mike Bennett, Matt Hardy, Adam Cole. Those are the three that come to my mind. So to me, the Mike Bennett matchup really makes a lot of sense.
So,
and I just wanted to call in and throw that out there because I think that
appreciate your call.
people...
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
I think a lot of people just assume that because Tanahashi has a great reputation on the internet, he wrestles a certain way, and that's really not the case. And I think that, Mike, you actually make a very good matchup for him, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I think it's, it's one of those things where, believe it or not, occasionally, and by occasionally I mean most of the time, when two companies like New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor come together and they book and promote a show together, they actually do know what they're doing, and there is a rhyme or reason behind everything. And I myself have watched a lot of Tanahashi, and the one thing I said to Maria, and now before anyone goes crazy, I'm not comparing myself to Tanahashi. I'm just comparing the way we move in the ring and the way we wrestle is very similar. And believe it or not, maybe that's something Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling said, oh, these two may actually, mix together. These two may actually put on a good match because they are quite similar.
Definitely, and it's nothing compared to the 15 years that you've been in, but I've been around the wrestling business in various capacities for about 6 years now, and I think you'd be really hard-pressed to find people who don't think the same way within the industry, and I know that there are certainly the haters on Twitter and the doubters and things like that want to complain about pretty much anything that you would be given disputes. They have a certain perception about you, but I really think that stylistically, matchup-wise, people are going to be really blown away when they see it, and I think it's going to surpass expectations, and I'm really looking forward to it. So best of luck to you as you go into that matchup. Looking forward to watching it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much for your time, guys.
Take care, man. Someone who gets it. Funny.
I think that that's the case, though. I think that all these people that are like, I'm with the majority, and we all hate Michael Bennett, and blah, 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 and we're on the internet, we know what we're talking about. I do think there's only, 3 of them. I think it's the same 3 people that just keep saying it over and over and over again. I don't.
It is. I told you, they tweet about how much they hate me and they wish I wasn't in wrestling, but then they keep tweeting me and keep tweeting me and keep tweeting me. I'll tell you what,
weird obsession.
I despise Sarah Palin. You know how many times I've tweeted her? None, because I don't want to give her the time of day. I hate her. I think she's a horrible, horrible human being, and she's a detriment to this country. So you know what? I don't tweet her. I don't talk about her. I don't like her. Because that's what happens when you don't like somebody. So I don't understand how they can sit there and say they don't like me and they don't want to give me the time of day, but their lives are consumed with me. My goodness.
It's so funny. I love it. But, I have a feeling that it's going to be the most talked about match afterwards. Everybody's going to say on the internet that they hate it, but that's okay.
That's another thing is they won't admit when they're wrong either. So it's, if you supposedly have the balls to call me out on Twitter and say I suck, then have the balls to admit when you're wrong, because that's what real people do. But they don't do that because, they're too afraid to say, well, so even if the match is phenomenal, even if it's awesome, it never happens. They do it with a lot of people. It's people they don't like. And I've seen it happen to really good wrestlers who deserve more, and they make their mind up about someone, and I've seen wrestlers tear the house down, and they won't admit it. And it's kind of pathetic. It's really sad. Look how long it took them to, and they still don't. They still criticize Cena. Look how long. Are you kidding me? How many times is the guy doesn't have a bad match, but they won't admit it because they're afraid to admit it. It's just how it
he
is.
sells more merch than anybody else in the company. Wow.
Hey.
That must suck. As all those comments are coming in, it must suck to then look at his royalty check. God, I wonder if he even gets upset. I think that those comments on the internet just really hurt his feelings when he's cashing in those checks from all the T-shirts he sold.
Or is headlining another pay-per-view.
I wonder, I think that probably he doesn't give a shit. And, honestly, like, I don't think that the internet does play any role in what we're doing anymore. Ring of Honor
isn't it true? Isn't it true that it's the vocal minority? Because let's be honest, they can sit there and say that, well, Cena gets booed and people hate Cena. But again, it's the vocal minority, because if that was true, if this was actually true, then his merchandise would not be the top one.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying is, like, all those comments mean nothing.
The proof is in the money. The proof is in the sales. The proof is in pay-per-view buys. Well, not anymore, really, because of the network. But
the proof is in downloads for our podcast.
Well, it's just
the proof, and that's the thing, is the proof is in that. The proof is in how many people know you when we go to different towns. How many people recognize you when we go to do these signings at these conventions. How many people want your autograph just as much as they want mine.
But it's not even – but, with me aside, you look at someone like Matt Hardy. The proof is with Matt Hardy too. It just the truth is just there.
They just had that big Omega show, and they had thousands of people there.
And the main event was the Hardy Boys versus the Briscoes, and that'll sell out an arena any day of the week. I guarantee you. And you can sit there and you can say, well, Matt Hardy's not a draw anymore. But I'm sorry, but that me and Maria both did an independent show for Mike O'Brien. And how big was Matt Hardy's line? 200, 300 people deep. Like 2 shows with Matt Hardy headlining, and the first show was a legit almost 3,000 person sellout. Mm-hmm. Legit. The second show was in a smaller building, so it was closer to 1,000 person sellout. And Matt Hardy probably signed autographs for every single person there because they were in his line. But
yes, and could you imagine if you had WWE promotion behind that? Matt Hardy is a huge draw. And that's the important part about all of this. And I guess that's the point that I was trying to make with all of it is, you can write all you want on the internet, but that doesn't mean that your television product isn't going anywhere. What you look at is who's the one doing the interviews? Who's the one out there meeting the people? Who's the one that gets to ask to do extra stuff? And it's always me and you and Cole and Matt Hardy if he's at the show. And that's what you look at. Those are the people that are getting asked to come in. Those are the people that are asked to do the interviews. And those are the people. I said ass a few times. But those are the people that are drawing in the people.
The people.
The people.
The people that are
I wanted to talk. I know that this happened a few weeks ago, but we haven't had our podcast because there's been a lot of craziness going on. But I do want to talk about Daniel Bryan, and I also want to talk about Paige. And they can call it the yes movement all they want. I kind of want to call it the Triple H taking over movement because I feel
Careful.
Careful.
The internet just collectively exploded again. Don't you know Triple H holds people back? Come on.
Oh! But
careful now.
Okay, so there's these things. They're called characters. And you play these characters on television to teach a story, teach an idea, teach a crowd to believe in something, to draw light onto an idea like a Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is amazing. The people wanted him, the blah, blah, blah. But that match that he had with Triple H at WrestleMania was the best match of the night.
It was.
Forever moving forward, he will be the man that beat the COO? Is that what he's being called? Triple H.
The coup.
forever it will be he beat the man. He didn't beat the man. The man let him beat him. Like, that's a freaking wrestling right there. And I think that's awesome. And then he has went down to NXT, held Paige's hand up in the middle of the ring, showed everybody this is his new golden girl. And guess what? When she came out on Monday Night Raw and took that title away, people already knew who the heck she was. They were already chanting for her. They already responded to her because Triple H put a stamp on her and said, this is my chick. And it's freaking awesome, and I'm excited about it. So, yes movement all day long. I'm calling it the Triple H movement, and you can all kiss my tushy.
Whoa.
That's how I feel.
I'll kiss you.
Agree? Disagree?
I told you after we watched it, I thought the Triple H Daniel Bryan match on WrestleMania was the best match of the night, but it's like I think it's often forgot that it takes two to tango, and Bryan's the star, but you need someone to make a star, and they made him. Triple H made that star by by having him win, and I thought it was such a cool moment of Bryan winning at the end, and just the way they built the match with Triple H and hurting his shoulder. It was all that's right with professional wrestling, and I thought it was great. And I don't think I think for whatever, I mean, I know the reason why Bryan gets all the credit is because he's phenomenal and he's awesome, and he should
get tons of credit.
And he's just what WWE needs right now. But like I said, it takes. I think we get so caught up in who we love that we forget that. And you should fall in love with who you fall in love with. But at the end of the day, you can't say that Triple H isn't just as important in that role, because in order to make a great hero, you need an even better villain to make that hero overcome his obstacles and all that stuff. So. Yes, I totally agree. But I think you also, I think you need an extremely strong babyface, and I think Bryan filled that role. So I think it was a mix of both. But I agree with you with Triple H. I think it's kind of cool to see who's starting to be featured on WWE right now, where it's Bryan, and now it seems like Cesaro is making his way. Now he's with Paul Heyman.
I can't wait.
And the Shield and the Wyatts, and it's just guys who have cut their teeth on the indies,
guys who have been wrestling for years and years. And
I think it's
Kalisto,
really
who
cool.
is also known as Samurai del Sol. He just debuted. I'm extremely excited for him. So Kalisto is who you need to be looking for, and everybody else, Samurai del Sol, if you know that name. But he is awesome. We have another caller.
Cool.
Do you want to take it?
No, I'll tell you.
All right. Hello there. What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm BJ from North Carolina.
BJ!
There. How are you? Do you have a question for us?
Yeah. Can I ask Maria a question?
Sure.
Sure can.
Okay. Well, I was a huge fan of yours when you were in WWE. That's when I started watching wrestling. I was just wondering, with you in Ring of Honor now, do you feel like you have more, how do I put this? Do you feel you have more creativity when it comes to your matches, in Ring of Honor? You have more free will on what you do compared to in WWE, where I've heard it's really strict on what you do and stuff.
I definitely feel like I have a lot of freedom. I've been around for a long time now. So with time and experience, you also get to have more control over your career. So it's a combination. It's definitely a combination of Ring of Honor not being as controlling, and it's also the fact that I've been around for a long time. So I have a little bit more trust than I used to when I first started to make my own decisions. But it's exciting for me as well. It's super exciting to be working for a company that gives me that freedom.
Yeah, I completely understand that. And also, can I ask you just one more quick question?
Sure.
I was wondering, I know you I see on Twitter you keep up with, like, still you keep up with WWE a little bit. I was wondering, what are your thoughts on the Diva Paige? Because I think she's just phenomenal.
She is phenomenal. I've actually been saying that for a long time. I tried to get her a long time ago when I was working for Crossfire Wrestling. I really wanted Paige to be one of my girls that I worked with. Crossfire Wrestling ended up going by the wayside, but I knew back then she was awesome, and she's just gotten better and better. And I think she's exactly what the Divas division needs at this point. Someone that, the people just respect her. And, there's wrestlers that are just as good as Paige, but they don't necessarily have the respect that she does. And you need that combination of both respect and also talent in order to become a mainstay in any company. And I think that she has both. And I think that she's just going to continue to improve and get better. And it helps to have wrestlers in the family, and her mom is still out there wrestling, doing her thing. So if ever she needs to talk about the stress and strains of being at WWE, it's nice to have someone to talk to, and it's nice to have that support. So I think she's very well-rounded.
Yeah, I think just the fact, I think Regal said she was either 12 or 13 when she started, so, like, even though she's only, like, 21, she's already got almost a decade of experience. And, like, you see divas now who are in their late 20s who don't even have 5 years of experience. And you can definitely see it, like, you can definitely see it in the ring, like when she has, like, her matches that are more than, like, a couple minutes compared to some of the other divas and stuff. She's really good. I really hope at the pay-per-view they give her, like, 10 or more minutes with Tamina just so that people can see her wrestle. Because people who own the network can see her wrestle on NXT, but they don't. A lot of people don't do that. So, like, just seeing her on the pay-per-view and giving her actual time, I think, will really help the division.
Oh, for sure. Anything else?
I think that's it. Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Of course. Take care. It's crazy, like, how much of a statement she's made so far.
I agree.
I think that, it definitely comes with her family being in wrestling for a long time. People automatically trust her in the ring. They automatically respect her. And so she's given more leeway. Like, if there's some kind of fumble in a match or some kind of misstep, people aren't going to look at it and go, oh, she sucks. They're going to look at it and go, oh, she had a bad day. And that's the difference. And a lot of the girls that have been wrestling for a long time with WWE that came out of a modeling world, they're not going to give them that respect. They're going to say, oh, she's just a model turned wrestler. They're never going to say that about a Paige. They're never going to say that about, Natalia. That's just how it goes.
Right.
So I wanted to ask you, what do you think about this whole, what's-his-face, Sterling guy getting banned? And
Whoa, holy crap. Jeez.
What?
Well, holy structure. Just jump right to...
I wanted to ask before we got off. We have to get off of here soon. I needed to talk about a couple other things.
From Paige to a racist basketball owner. Yeah, it's ridiculous. The dude's a racist. He should have been out of the NBA a long time ago. But unfortunately, the Clippers absolutely sucked for most of my adult life and most of my life. So it was never an issue. He was caught by his ex-girlfriend or his girlfriend and the way she went about it.
I feel as if he was still married. I feel like he's still married. Like, I don't think they're divorced.
No, he is still married. But
so is his mistress.
Well, yeah, whatever she is. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. She's just as scummy as he is. And, yeah, she recorded him. She broke the law. And so she should be prosecuted. But he's a racist, and I don't understand. My biggest issue with this is he got what he deserved. He has been suspended for the NBA for life, so he can't go to any games. He was fined $2.5 million, which, is pocket change, but anything to those owners is pocket change. So what are you really going to do? And but it needs to go one step further, and they're actually going to take a vote from the other managers of the league to see if he has to be kicked out and forced to sell the Lakers. And once that happens, then it will be justified. But what really bothers me is the fact that once again, someone has been punished by their job, by their employer, by someone they work for, someone who pays them money, for something they said, like what's his face from Duck Dynasty. He got punished for his homophobic comments, and now Daniel Sterling is getting punished by the NBA for his racist comments. And yet again, people are screaming about the freedom of speech. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying not to get mad here, but please go back to school and please study our Constitution and please learn the ways and the laws of our land, because the freedom of speech has absolutely nothing to do with privately owned companies, your employer, or anything whatsoever. As much as you have the right to say racist comments and homophobic comments and swear and cuss and say anti-religious stuff and be crazy with the things that come out of your mouth, you have that right. The place you work for has in turn the absolute right to fire you for whatever it deems unfit or unsuitable for its company. So, for example, Mr. Sterling saying racist things about African Americans, he has the right to say that. But he also has the right to say it without the federal government coming after him. And he has the right to say that without going to jail for saying that. That, my friends, is the freedom of speech. Has nothing to do with a place you work. Last time I checked, the NBA is not the government. The NBA is not arresting him. The NBA is not incarcerating him or taking away any of his civil liberties. All they are doing is suspending him and fining him because, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, this may be crazy to believe, but 95% of the NBA is probably African Americans. And on top of that, 95% of the NBA fan base is probably African Americans. So yes, this is a business decision because what he said hurt their business, and they have every right to do it. So please do not hide behind the freedom of speech because it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. If you want to argue with me and say, well, he was in the privacy of his own home and she should have been recording it, that's fine and that's great. And she broke the law and she can be prosecuted. But the fact is it was leaked, it was heard, and it's a smart business decision to get rid of the racist of African Americans when your whole company is made up of African Americans. I rant.
That's like saying okay, freedom of speech, sure, yes, everybody has it. But let's make it on a much smaller level. Okay, so you text someone in your phone, I hate my boyfriend, okay? I hate my boyfriend. Your boyfriend goes and looks at your phone. He reads, I hate my boyfriend. He has every right to break up with you.
Yes.
Every right. You cannot tell him. You have no right. You cannot tell him it's freedom of speech. I can say whatever I want to say. No.
Yes,
you cannot say.
You can. You're right, but you're wrong. No, you can say it. But the freedom of speech protects you from being from the government coming after you. It does not prevent you from the consequences that will take place after you say certain remarks.
Right.
Just like, what's his face? What was his name? Phil from Duck Dynasty? He has the right to think homosexuality is a sin. That is his call. But it doesn't protect him from what A&E may do.
Right.
It doesn't. And
Because
A&E,
who knows who the owners are over there? And who knows what their beliefs are? Or who knows what their sponsorships are? Or who knows any of this? You can't say something like that in public and think that it's going to be okay, that you're not going to get fired or fined or what?
yes.
And why would you be so stupid to believe that you could say something like that in private, especially when it's your new mistress that
No, she wasn't new. She's been with him for a while.
4 years. She's been okay. So it's your mistress of 4 years. You know what she's all about. Why would you say that to her?
But
Why?
whatever. And, it's one of those things where you feel like you're in the privacy of your own home. That's fine. But I was taught at a very young age, and then when I became an adult, my parents always said, you are responsible for the actions you take. We are adults. There is a certain thing, it's called man up and deal with the consequences of your actions, regardless of how they happened. So regardless, Mr. Sterling, you still said racist comments. So, okay, I'll give you were in the privacy of your own home. You still said it. You still said it. The words still came. She didn't. This lovely young lady that he was sleeping with did not force him to say it. He said it. So let's get that out. He said it. So anyone who's saying he was in the privacy of his home, that's fucking wonderful. He still said it.
Why does he own this basketball team? I don't understand.
Secondly, hold on. Secondly, he's still the idiot that was sleeping with a gold digger and would do anything for money. So there are two things there that he must deal with the consequences. He's stupid enough to have said it, and he's stupid enough to have said it to a woman who is trying to get his money at any cost. So yeah, he has to deal with the consequences of his words and his actions. Stop being so. Our country can get the people who defend this kind of shit it just annoys the hell out of me.
That's not what the Constitution says.
But not only that, just man up. Take responsibility. Stop trying to hide behind what you said. You're a racist, and you were sleeping with a gold digger. Oh, that combination. It's like, God damn it. It's.
I wonder too if he's a religious man. I wonder while he's sleeping with this other chick, and he's still married, and he's cheating on his wife, if he also goes to church. That's what I'm curious about, because I mean he wants to just say, oh, I was in the privacy of my own home and I was in blah blah blah. Does he also know what the Bible says about people that cheat? He should be stoned to death. So I'm wondering, where he draws his lines, what is okay in his mind and what is not okay, or is he one of those men that's just alpha male that totally believes that whatever he does is right and God will stand with him? I'm wondering if that's the type of guy he is, because that's what I get the vibe of. I get the vibe of he goes with his wife to church on Sundays so he can sleep with someone else and feel good about it on Tuesday. Gross. He is a gross man. And why anybody would find him attractive enough to sleep with them, I do not understand. It is gross.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It is disgusting.
I'm sorry I changed, but this was an important thing to talk about. You know what else is an important thing to talk about?
I have a feeling you're going to tell me.
I will tell you. Your movie. I'm so proud of you.
I'm moving? Where am I moving to?
No, your movie!
Well, it's not my movie. I'm just in it.
It doesn't matter. It's your first one. It's
true.
You broke your cherry, dude. I'm excited for you.
I lost my movie virginity yesterday.
You did. I'm really proud of you.
I got movie banged.
You did. You had to shave your beard and everything. It was like you were going out on a hot date.
I don't want to talk about it. My face is as smooth as a baby's bottom right now.
I don't know what you look like anymore without your beard. I wonder if I'd even be able to kiss you. I don't think I'd be able to kiss you. I think I'd be like, no, you're not my guy. Like,
Really?
yeah, I think I'd feel weird about it.
Some chicks find a smooth face hot.
Not this chick.
Oh, all right.
Maybe when I was younger, when I was like, early 20s, I was like, yeah, smooth face, bah. But then now I'm like, I want a man. I don't want no little boy. I want someone that can grow a full beard, and it's like, there.
Hey, you know what? It was totally worth it, though, because for about 2 or 3 hours yesterday, I got to drive around in a police cruiser and play cops and robbers and get paid to do it. So my life is pretty fucking awesome, I'm not going to lie. The stuff I was doing as a little kid, I'm now doing at 28 years old, and get to say it's a movie and get paid to do it. So fuck me. That's awesome.
And it's Woodhaven Productions, and we've had Tommy DiNucci on the podcast before, and it's another one of his films. He's doing really well with it.
The movie's awesome, by the way. Like it's really different. I can't wait for it to come out. Like I have a not a giant role. It's a pretty small part, but the movie itself, but my point is the movie itself, like it's just a really cool story, and Tommy wrote it, Tommy DiNucci, and he's a really great director too. Like I was just blown away at his attention to detail and his ability to work with the actors, and it was inspiring. Actually, it made me realize that there might be life for me outside of wrestling. So maybe the smart marks will win and get their way, because maybe I can go make a living not having to destroy my body anymore.
Internet's
Breaking news. Wrestling Observer reports Michael Bennett quits on Mike and Maria podcast, going to make movies. Newsflash, ladies and germs.
Oh God! Yes, that's how it goes. Do you want to take another caller? We could take another caller.
We could.
All right. Well, we don't have to. We could talk hockey if you want.
We can talk whatever you want.
Well, I was thinking that maybe I'll talk about the fact that the Blackhawks are going to once again beat the Bruins. What? Ooh, we have a caller.
Oh,
Hello?
looks like we're forced to.
Caller, what's your name? Hello.
Hey, Jerry.
Hi.
Is it Maria?
Yes, this is Maria.
How come you put your number on Twitter?
He thinks he's talking to your real phone number.
You guys, this is the podcast.
I can't take it.
Oh, you went away.
Oh, shit. You just got a hot date.
Did. That's okay, caller. If you end up with a question, you can call back.
Hey, what's up, Maria?
Why'd you put your number on Twitter?
Oh, that's fantastic.
So funny. I definitely think that the Blackhawks are going to do 2 in a row.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think so. Probably not. They're not that good this year.
Doesn't matter. This is the playoffs.
It actually does matter. Usually the strength of your team and how good your team is matters a great deal in whether you win or not. But you keep that argument that it doesn't matter.
You know what?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Your team won 2 games this year. It doesn't matter. They'll still win it all. What?
Why do I sound like that? Why am I?
Your team
am I plugging my nose and talking? Is that what's happening?
Your team has all rookies, and they're not really that good. It doesn't matter. They'll still win it. Your team hasn't scored a goal all year. It doesn't matter. You don't need to score goals to win the game. Terrible. You've had a lot of good arguments tonight. This one, your worst.
But in the playoffs, everybody brings out like
you
their
still gotta
best.
be good.
What? But
can't just be mediocre. It's still a sport. You know?
At least they're not on the lower card. At least.
This just... The Blackhawks are playing the Bruins because the Blackhawks are on the lower card, and the Bruins have a lot of players with hurt backs and hurt. So they really need to make sure the games are even. What has the world of professional wrestling become? It's become a circle jerk for guys who live in their parents' basement.
I don't think there's that many basements.
It's something.
It is something.
Hello. Being joined by Popcorn, my dog, right now. He is...
Does Popcorn the dog have anything else to say?
I don't know. What do you have to say? Yes. Uh-huh. Oh, he just told me. Uh-huh. Oh, you think my match with Tanahashi will be the best match of the night? Huh? What else? Oh. Oh, now he's licking his asshole. Okay. Let's get out. Stop it.
Oh, goodness. All right. Well, I think that's enough for the night. I think that we had some good moments, some up moments, some down moments. And I
have officially been alienated from the wrestling community.
Yes. And all of the people in Ring of Honor are now going to hate me. I was informed on the Twitter.
Oh, yes.
Everyone in the locker room is going to hate me. Well, that's good because I only care about a few people in that locker room, and that's Matt Hardy, Adam Cole, and Michael Bennett. So everyone else can hate me. And because I'm doing my job, everybody. I'm doing my job.
On the lower card.
On the lower card, yes.
Lower to mid card.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've
doing it.
Been to WrestleMania how many times?
No. Lower card.
I've main evented Raw. What? I've been in the ring with Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock and Triple H and Ric Flair and Mick Foley and who else? Oh, the list keeps going on.
Do you need help picking up all those names you just dropped? Jesus. Wow.
No, I could keep dropping them, but I'm afraid.
Okay. I don't.
I'm afraid I might hurt the feelings of the guy in the locker room. That what Popcorn? Really?
I told you he was here. He's in the studio. He's giving his opinion. What else, Popcorn? Oh, okay. Oh, he ran away. I think he's going to pee.
All right,
himself.
next week I think we are going to try to have one of the guys that I do think draws people into the company, Adam Cole. We're going to try and have him on next week. Same time, same podcast, unless Mike has to work or film more movies. Oh, wait, you don't do that because nobody knows who you are. But yeah, we're gonna try and have Adam Cole on next week.
Hopefully by that time I'll learn more moves.
No, don't learn any more moves.
I have to. That's how you become a good wrestler.
Don't learn any more moves.
I'm gonna I'm gonna play Raw versus SmackDown and see if I can learn some moves. Is that the new game? No, WWE. Someone tell me what's the new video game out? I'm dating myself. I'm gonna create a wrestler and I'll watch.
What moves they do on the video game.
William, WWE 2K14. I'm going to create a wrestler and learn how to do the Monkey Buster 17,000. So wait till I bust out the Monkey Buster. And there'll be dueling Monkey Buster chants in New York City. Dueling Tanahashi Monkey Buster chants. Monkey Buster. Clap, 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 clap.
Yeah?
Monkey Buster off the balcony.
Perfect.
Wait till you see it. Shit's gonna hit the fan. So, I have passion and I have Monkey Busters, people.
And with that, thank you everybody for joining us. Monkey Buster your way to bed or to drinking games or whatever you do while listening to this awesome podcast, and we'll talk to you all next week.
Peace.
Off with my
This has been a production of fanoff.com.
And that's perfect.